Welcome back to Top Cut Journey. Today we're going to be breaking down a full gameplay of Blue Purple Luffy versus Purple Katakuri. This is me piloting the deck, and unfortunately I was actually playing and talking to my roommate while I was recording this, so I've decided to mute his voice and our voices, and I'll just record a voiceover over it. So the screen is currently paused, and the reason why is because I want to break down the reasons why I didn't mulligan this hand. So if you look at my hand, I have a Zorojiro, a Nami, as well as a Katakuri. Now this to me is a near perfect hand that you can use. So the reason why I say it's a pretty good hand basically is because we have Zorojiro and Gear as ramp tools, and we also have a turn 3 play, which is Nami, and then a turn 4 play, which is Purple Katakuri. So against a 6k swing, generally you want to give a 1k counter, but because I'm thinking ahead in terms of my turn 2, turn 3, turn 4 play, I decided to give away the Usohachi here. So against Katakuri, it's definitely an aggro swinging matchup. It's not a starve matchup. So I swing 7k into leader and play out the Zorojiro. Now, in hindsight, I think playing Gear here would potentially be better. So I could have pitched the Zorojiro on the 6k swing and then played Gear here. The reason is, now he's about to play this as the answer to Zorojiro, but people also used to play Charlotte Oven. So Charlotte Oven was able to KO a 3 cost or less, which Zorojiro is a 3 cost. Strusen, which is a new tech that people have been running for the past 1 to 2 weeks, I would say, is a character that can rest a 4 cost or less. So here, you'll see me take this hit. And the reason why I'm taking this hit is because I know that he's going to try to rest my Zorojiro. So I'm trying to hope that I get a 2k counter from life here to protect the Zorojiro, because what he's going to do now is he's going to use Strusen's ability to rest a full cost or less, which is what he does here. And then he attaches Dawn to the the pudding, and kills it. So if I was able to get a 2k counter, I could protect that card, but it's okay, because in the end, I get a ramp from my life, which is very lucky. So, again, in hindsight, if I played Gear there and gave the 1k counter, none of that would have happened, and I would have gone to 7 Dawn and played out the Nami like I have in this case. On this turn, I know that I'm going to 8 Dawn next turn, so I want to get rid of the 8 cost Luffy as well as a 9 cost Luffy, because I'm not that likely to play it. I think it's much better in this matchup to play out a lot of Katakuris and 9 Mons if possible. 8 Katakuri is really good in this matchup, I feel like. So, again, I have my game plan, and my game plan is to drop the 8 Katakuri on my 9 Dawn turn, and Katakuri will ramp 1 rested Dawn, which means I will have 10 Dawn and Gear available to protect my board. Or, not protect my board, but protect my life. So, we are just gonna do what we gotta do. I might be talking to my friend here, my roommate, so I was pondering for a second. But yeah, just a simple 6k swing into the leader first, and then we play out the Katakuri. Always swing with your leader first. And 6k swings are really good at this point in the game because you want to make him use 2k counters. Whether or not he takes that life, it doesn't matter, because we're playing for the late game anyways. So here I make a mistake because I was actually talking to my friend, and then I clicked no block, but I should have blocked with Katakuri because it was a free block. And I even noticed it right away. I pointed at the Katakuri, and circle it because I was like, I made a mistake. Like literally right after I noticed it, but it is what it is. So here I take a gear second and I actually put it on the top because in this matchup it's just really important to just play out bodies like Katakuri. And the idea with playing out a lot of Katakuris is you just want to swing and restand, so they don't have as many options to swing into your board. Now, one thing that I will mention in my Katakuri guide coming out next week is Tenmom because it is very difficult for you to deal with, but that's why I have Red Rock in hand. So you might be wondering why I took the gear second there, and the reason why is because he has nothing to attack my board anyways. 1k counter versus a 3k counter essentially, right? And I can just play out a Katakuri here and have 2 Dawn up to protect. So that's exactly what I do here, I think. I don't remember. But yeah, I use gear second on the first swing, and then he plays 9 Mom. So I have to take this because, well, I literally can't defend it unless I give away one of my blockers. I get a 9 cost Mom here, and I get a free block here because he swings 6k into 6. So a better play would have been to play out the 10 cost Mom and then swing 6k, 8k into 12k. And the reason behind that is because you can potentially force out the most resources from me. Now, in this case, it doesn't matter because I know my resources as well as the board state, but there are some situations where it could matter, so it's better to make it a habit. Now, I'm going to pause here to show you guys my decision making in this situation. So this next turn, instead of playing 9 cost Sanji into 8 cost Katakuri, you can argue for playing that as well, but I don't want to be in a situation where they have 2 10 moms on the board because that is really, really annoying and difficult for you to deal with. 2 12k swings is very difficult for you to counter out of. So, in my opinion, it's just better to swing for damage into their life and threaten their life and get rid of 10 mom, which is what I'm going to do with Red Rock. So, generally, you want to swing with 8k first. You can swing with your Katakuri bodies if you want, and you try to make sure that your last swing is a bit tall. So, obviously, I have 6 Dawn allocated for Red Rock, 1 Dawn allocated for Gear Second, and the remaining 3 Dawn I can use to attach to my characters to swing. So, I think it's a bit of a mistake because by swinging with my leader with Dawn attached, they know that I'm definitely not playing out Sanji into Katakuri or Sanji into anything or any big bodies this turn. So by looking at my Dawn remaining 8 Dawn, it does kind of scream a Red Rock angle or Red Rock play. So a better thing I could do here is swing with 8 cost Katakuri twice and then swing with my leader for 9k. So make sure your tall swing is last because generally most people block with their blockers at the end. Because let's say I free block with a 8k swing, or let's say I block and give a 1k, I can then swing the other 2 cards, my Katakuri. So like in this case, let's say I swing 8k, they can block and give a 1k. But then I can then use my Katakuris to swing twice into their Katakuri. And if I can kill it, it's really good for my tempo in my game. Now, this guy obviously doesn't do that for some reason, and you can see that I'm mathing out what I need. I noticed that I have 6 Dawn for Red Rock, 1 Dawn for Gear Second, and I still have 1 Dawn allocated to swing. So 8, 8, 9 here is probably the best way to do it. And as you can see, I swing 9 here, so that it makes him very hard, makes it very difficult for him to counter out. Waiting for this guy to make his move. He takes, as I expect, and now I red rock his Katakuri. So this turn was really, really good for me because I was able to get a 1k counter out. I was able to get 2 of his lives away, and I got rid of his threat on the board, which was 10 Mom. So here he plays another 10 Mom. Again, this is a mistake. He should be attacking with his leader first. So 6k, 8k into 12k. So I just take that free hit. Well, not a free hit, but I have to take that hit because it's just really tall. And I don't want to block with it. At least not yet. So anyways, here I get a free block because he swings with 6k last for some reason. It's not an ideal move. Even if he swings 6k, 8k, 12k though, the result would have been pretty similar. I would have given him a block and then a gear second into just taking the hit. So here I take the 2k counter and then put Gum Gum Giant on my top life because I don't want them to know what I have in my top life. Or not top life, but my top deck rather. So that's why I take a 2k counter, which is less conspicuous, and they don't know what kind of events I have up or if I even have any events. So that is the reason why I did it in that specific order. So here I'm just looking to play 9-cost Sanji into another Katakuri. If I'm able to do this, then I'll have 4 blockers on the board and also a 9-cost Sanji. I don't mind playing it now because he's on so low life. He is constantly under threat. And as soon as I see him use the skill of 9 Mom, which I think is -6 Dawn or -5, I think it was -5 Dawn to plus 2k for that turn, I know next turn would be game, right? I could have potentially, actually, sorry, I was being silly. Ignore what I was going to say. But because he -5 Dawn and -1 Dawn with his leader ability, he has 6 Dawn this turn, and there's no way he can end the game because he doesn't have anything that's unblockable on Katakuri. And I have 4 blockers. I literally have 4 blockers. So here he just gives up. I mean, there literally is nothing he can do. He has 4 blockers against him, and I have Gum Gum, and I still have counter in hand. So there's that. If you guys enjoyed that video, then subscribe because I'm making a full Katakuri guide after this so that you can understand how to play this matchup in more detail.